What's up, gents? It's one half of TCG Luxury back with another video. Today we're going to be going over the best looking cards, in my personal opinion, from every set in the Scarlet and Violet era. Before anything, however, shout out to XRAY Hawk, who I got this video setup idea from. His channel will be found in the description if you guys are interested. Jumping into Scarlet and Violet base set, we have Armoro sitting at a price of $4.77 for the card, or $111.15. This card is an absolute beaut, especially for the $5 price point. I just love the shifted perspective, all the light colors, nice white and blues, how pretty the sky is, and the rain puddles on the ground in contrast to the fiery Armoro. His yellow and black red color scheme really pops on this card and just really makes him the focal point of the card in a well put together way. Coming in from Paldea Evolved, we have Miss Magius at a price of point of around $7.24, while this card in a PSA 10 is going for about $70. Miss Magius is just one of those Pokemon cards that don't get a lot of love from the Pokemon TCG company, and yes, you could say there's the Level X card from Rising Rivals all the way back from 2009, but other than that, when is the time that Miss Magius really had a card? This Pokemon doesn't really have any other pretty penny cards worth much. I just love this card, how it feels like it could be a beautiful stained glass window. I love how Miss Magius is front and center in this card. It follows a nice dark color scheme with wooden accents. It's just a gorgeous card and a cool Pokemon that I'm happy to see receive some love. You know, I really am not a fan of the Obsidian Flame set. I just feel like Charizard is overused at this point, but boy, does this card, and a few others, but this card in particular just stand out. This card can be bought for $11 raw or $144 at a PSA 10. I mean, just look at it. The bright, vibrant yellows, the reds, the light browns really just make this card pops. It gives a photographer vibe, like if I was a photographer out in the wild in the Pokemon world, I could just see myself snapping this picture. It's absolutely breathtaking, and I love how Ninetales on full display, looking elegant with his chest out, head up, and tail flourish. It was between this card and the Palafin illustration rare, and boy, this card just took the cake for me. It's just so radiant, and I absolutely love it. Moving on to Mew. There's something incredible in simplicity. This Mew card fetches a pretty penny for about $94 raw or $253 for a PSA 10. This card looks like it could have been drawn by a kid on a piece of napkin at a local IHOP down the street, but honestly, that's what I love about it. I love its very simplistic and wholesome nature, all the cute Pokemon around it, the little Poliwag just chilling in the water with derpy looking Oddish next to him. This card just embodies peace. This Mew is so cute while it has its little hand inside, looks like it's a little mastermind plotting his next big scheme about how he's going to get 2 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1. I know I was going to do it, man, but my only complaint about this card, honestly, is if I could change things about this card, I would probably remove one of the Diglets and add something else, maybe a Drillbur. I know they're trying to stay on the 151 theme for this card, so maybe Pidgey instead in the sky, that'd be cool. But I guess maybe that would take away from the actual Mew, but those are just my thoughts. Speaking of Gen 1, we move into the 151 set, and yeah, there is a Venusaur, and there is a sadly disappointing Blastoise in my opinion, and the Charizard, but to me, Poliwhirl takes the cake in this set. Sitting around $11 or 38 cents, $11.38 raw, or $74.78 graded at a 10. For $11, this card is a steal. I love how real it all looks, almost like what they should have done for Pokemon Go's set. The raindrop ripples, the dark gloomy blues, the reflection of himself. This Poliwhirl just looks sad. I love the emotions from this card. I love the emotions this card embodies. Like Poliwhirl's just thinking about his life, contemplating why he exists, or maybe just it's a Pokemon card and I'm looking too much into it. But still, my point stands. This card is just a beautiful card, period. Moving on to Paradox Rift, we have Groudon. Groudon. At a small price of $47 raw or $203 at a PSA 10, yes, call me basic, the chase card from this set is the one I picked for the best looking, but what can I say? My primate brain just lights up from looking at this picture. Volcano, kaiju-sized monster, crashing waves, and the only one who could stop it? That's right, it's me. Okay, maybe not that last part, but gents, this card is one for the eyes. I love how powerful Groudon feels here, of the smoke coming from his mouth. If this card had one half of a full card, you know damn well Kyogre would be sitting on the other side lurking in the water, maybe charging an attack. This card just feels right. It's like soul food, it's gorgeous, it's Groudon. Moving on to Iron Crown. I'm not really a big fan of Temporal Forces. It's one of those sets that never really hit for me. But this card just says, look at me. Sitting at a price of $60 raw and $130 for a PSA 10. Yeah, it's a steep price, but man, I love this. The green yellow moon in the background, the pink trees, the nice chrome and neon light blue with the golden accents from Iron Crown himself. This card just whispers to the eyes and says, let me caress you. Anyways, weird comments aside, this card screams excellence. Yes, Temporal Forces, in my opinion, is whatever set, but this is one of my few cards that just stand out in Temporal Forces, and you just can't appreciate it enough. Moving on to Twilight Masquerade. What? Where's Greninja? Yes, sorry gents, but my heart is set on Growlithe. I just can't appreciate those hats on the new Terra Pokemon. They look pretty dumb to me. So now I have to tell you, at $10.50 or $63 at a PSA 10, how could you not love this card? I love the shading, the lighting on this card, the absolute adorable Growlithe that just looks like a little pupper you want to pick up and hold, the vibrant, super saturated colors. It's just stupendous. And am I the only one of these people to say, am I the only, let me know down in the comments, that Hisuian Growlithe looks better than the OG. I'm sorry, but it's true. I just can't get enough of this fluffiness from this popper. Moving on to Shrouded Fable. Yes, call me a sick man for enjoying a sad reality of some Pokemon, but gosh, I am not a fan of Shrouded Fable at all. But this set of 3 just makes me want to go out and pick them up before they blow up in price. Speaking of price, you can pick this card up for $18.50. or $121 at a PSA 10. I love how sad this all feels. Like he just got abandoned by his trainer, and this is now, or is stalking him, or returning home to relive a Naruto level flashback. I just love how this card feels. Has a story behind it that is just not fully painted out. I just don't know what the story is. It leaves so much room for interpretation. I love the muted colors. I love the simple design. And yes, in reality, based off his Pokédex entry, he's probably just there to suck up some poor soul into his endless quote-unquote black hole of a body. And that makes his card horrifyingly beautiful. Alright guys, well, that's all I got, at least until Stellar Crown, where I'll probably make a short updating on the list. But for now, if you made it this far, let me know down in the comments what your favorite card is from the Scarlet and Violet era. And I also would really appreciate if you left a like and possibly tingle that subscribe button. You don't have to press it yet, but maybe give it a little slight tickle and come back later if you want to fully press it, you know. Thank you for sticking through. This is one half of TCG Love Street, and I'm out.